So I get a lot of questions about this food forest, and I want to tell you guys it's really rocking. It's been about 14 months since I planted it. Some trees took a beating from the freeze that we had here in 9B in Central Florida. It got down to 22, but let me give you a peek at what's happening. So this is the size of a swimming pool. It's not very big, easily able to do in most people's yards, as long as you've got some sun. So there's nectarine, even if you don't have sun. A lot of these can handle no sun. I have pineapple, but these I've just thrown down, and you can see they will root. This is all Seminole pumpkin, that vine that you see going through there. That's an apple, and that's from Stone River Nursery. They're actually working with UF right now on creating more apple varieties that are good for Florida, and I'm so excited about that. That's a nectarine, that's a guava. This is a Cranberry Sorrel, and I actually planted this from cutting last month. It's doing really good, tastes like cranberry. I've got seeds that I've sprinkled, so lots of flower seeds. These I grew from seed. These are all nectar, pollinator plants. Nectarine, ginger. I just planted this, I grew from the root. Another seed that I planted, that is actually a gandules that I pulled up. Those will kind of spread everywhere, but when you pull them up, they fix nitrogen into the soil, so that's a good thing. This is a white mulberry. This one gets huge. It is kind of a battle to keep it short, and so I do prune it back, but when I prune it back, I'm very surprised to see that I am getting more fruit. It's not as fruitful as the Bryce's World's Best, but it does respond to pruning like the Bryce's does, and it will give fruit more than just once a year if you prune it. More flowers, zinnias. That's a one of the, I think maybe Barbados cherry. This is another one of the cherries, the tropical cherries. Again, these two like froze back to the ground during the freeze. So hopefully this year we don't get another one. Here's a plum. Again, that Seminole pumpkin's going everywhere. There's 2 Seminole pumpkins in here. And here's another peach, like a white peach probably. Some more plants for the pollinators. And in here is Jamaican Sorrel. And then in the middle of that, it's very hard to tell, but there is a fruit tree. I'll think of the name of it in a minute. It's one of those, persimmon. It's persimmon. This is all Jamaican Sorrel. This all came up. I didn't plant this. It all came up from last year. Again, the Seminole pumpkin. Right here is the gandules or pigeon pea. More gandules that I have to pull up. This is the Bryce's World's Best mulberry, and this one I just did a hard prune on, and look at all the mulberries. Crazy, crazy, crazy. I just pruned this like 2 weeks ago. Here is a citrus tree. I don't know what this is. I bought one of these at a nursery, and it like froze back, but then all of a sudden I realized there were tons of roots. Maybe somebody knows. So I've dug them up and kind of spread them throughout the garden, but it's a great pollinator plant. Again, one of the cherries that is really good for our tropical conditions. This one didn't freeze back, so I have hopes that it'll produce this year. These are walking onions. Over the summer, they kind of diminished in size, but I'm sure they'll come back. This is society garlic. What else do I have in here? Again, lots of flowers. Oh, there's a really cool thing down the middle here. This is called champagne berry, and that froze back too. Or maybe this is the champagne berry. No, this is a pomegranate. That's a pomegranate. And all this right here, this is all, they call it African potato mint. And this has all come back from roots that had died, it had died back during the freeze, and it's all come back. I actually dug up a bunch of it, moved it in other places in the yard, but it's a tropical potato, and it's like a red potato, and it's really good. And again, it's a beautiful landscape plant that will spread throughout your yard. I have lots of insect activity in here. I don't spray here. Here's another pineapple. So when I have my pineapple tops, I just throw them. And again, here is another, I have to keep pulling up these gandules or they'll take over the whole space. And then in here is poha berry, and it's starting to produce again for fall. It kind of poops out in summer, but it'll start producing again. And this is my favorite snack when I'm out in the garden. And this will pop up everywhere, even the cracks of the sidewalks. And somewhere I saw, I think, nope, there was over here, there was Everglades tomatoes, and I fully expect them to start sprouting up again for fall. Everglades tomato does really good, but you know, the very end of summer, sometimes it doesn't make it. Depends on if you baby it, and I didn't baby it. But it'll pop back up, and it's a perennial wild tomato that'll just keep producing for you as long as you're not too cold. So anyways, that's it. I don't spend a ton of time out here maintaining this because that's the whole point of this, is I want to be producing food. The thing that's different from this and an annual vegetable garden is an annual vegetable garden is going to give me food within weeks. This could take months to years before it produces, but it's also a lot less work. So I absolutely want my annual vegetables. I want my lettuce, I want my peppers, I want all that, because that's just delicious stuff. But this is really fun, and it gives you a lot of food security to have these fruit trees. You want to keep your fruit trees small. I pruned these at about knee height, a little over knee height when I planted them. And there's a book called Grow a Little Fruit Tree that describes how to do that. And then you want to put some natives in here, like right here. This is a purslane here. Oh yeah, and this is another, I just stuck a mulberry stick in that will grow. So that's a purslane that popped up on its own. It really loves this compost. And then those little guys there, they'll turn into beautiful blue irises that are edible, and the butterflies love them. So you want to attract insect activity. This is going to balance out the amount of pesticides that you'll need to use on your annual garden, because you're going to be providing a home for a lot of beneficial insects that will go over and eat your pests. And this is a small space. Again, the size of a swimming pool. Most people can fit this somewhere in their yard and grow. So I hope this was educational and inspires you guys to plant some perennial vegetables and trees and fruits.